Okay, Skool community, Donnie Baker here with you. How are you? Good to see you. The question came up recently, and talking about consolidating and exporting files from one DAW to another DAW, a different DAW. So I wanted to share with you some tips to go. Today I'm going from Pro Tools and I'm going to import into Luna. Okay, and I'm going to show you how simple this is to go between DAWs. If this comes up in your daily workflow, you don't know how to do it, this will help you. If you do know how to do it and maybe you're struggling with it, or I'm gonna show you some different ways to do it. Okay, so let's get started. We'll run over to Pro Tools, share my screen with you. So here's what we have. This is a session that I've been working on. It's a simple song, got some drums, acoustic guitar, so a little bit of keyboards, some vocals, and some background vocals. Okay, so what I want to do, you see where I have edits going on here, and on my toms and my floor tom, and then everything kicks in at the end of the song. What I want to do is I want to have this file show up everything's got to start at bar 1B1, the very beginning of the song. So what we have to do is we have to consolidate our files and then export our files and then be able to import them in a new DAW. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the top track and I'm gonna just select everything. Now see this little space here, okay? This doesn't start from bar 1B1. I need all this air that's in the beginning of it. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna select the entire track. I'm gonna go zoom in, I'm gonna hold down Shift key and I'm going to select all of it. So now I've got that little bit of air in the very beginning. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hold down the Shift key and I'm gonna use the colon on my keyboard. The P or the colon goes up and down, okay? So now I'm holding down Shift, so you see that all these files are going to be selected. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and select everything. Got all my background vocals, got all my lead vocals. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. While I'm holding down Shift, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out a little bit because some of those files were a little bit longer than the actual drum files. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold down the Shift key, the Option key, and the number 3. And this is going to consolidate all these files together. I'm on a Mac. I'll find the Windows key and post it in here as a text overlay. So now all my files are consolidated. Now, as long as your track names are correct, things should show up as the name of the track. Okay, so while I have these selected, see now everything starts at bar 1B1, even these toms that I had edited out are all consolidated now. So I'm going to hold down the Shift, the Command, and the K, and this is gonna bring up my export. I want them as WAV files, I want them as interleaved, and I want to make sure that I keep the bit depth and the sample rate that is the session. I do know that the bit depth and sample rate of this session is 24-bit 48K. Now I'm gonna choose a folder to put it in, and I'm just gonna create a new folder on my external drive. I'm gonna call it Export Test 2. So there's my folder, and now I'm gonna open the folder and I'm gonna say, now I've told it where to send the files, and I'm just gonna export. Now all these files are exported. I can actually close this session. I'm done with it. I'm not gonna save it. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to Luna and I'm gonna open Luna. There we go. Now I'm gonna make a new session name and I'm gonna call it Export Import. That's a good name for a session. Let's create it. Let's make sure that all these things are correct. The tempo doesn't matter because it's gonna be the tempo of the song that I'm actually importing. So it's creating the session. Now, we've created the session. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna navigate to that drive, the export test number 2, and I'm gonna select all the files in there and I'm just gonna drag them in. And it's gonna create tracks. It is that simple. I'm gonna go ahead and select everything, and the thing with Luna is that a lot of the key commands are the same as Pro Tools. I'm just gonna drag everything to bar 1B1. Now you do see that the mono files came in as mono. There's the toms. They're out of order because they come in as alphabetical order. But there's the bass, there's also the bass, the guitar, the acoustic, the electric guitar, which we didn't really have any. There's the far rooms, you can see that they're there. The toms are there. So these are all starting at bar 1, beat 1. So it's pretty simple to go from one DAW to another one. I just really wanted to share with you the simplicity of how to do it, going from your DAW to another DAW. We're going to get into later talking about how we actually deliver these files. The more time you can spend making sure that your files are correct, like the important thing is making sure that the file names are the same. There's guitar, there's floor, there's far rooms, there's e-guitar. This is what I'm talking about. As long as your track names are correct when you consolidate, your file names will be the same when you export, and then they will be the same when you import. And as long as you're careful to make sure that you have the same bit depth and sample rate, things should play perfectly fine in time. And as long as you select from bar 1, beat 1 out, everything will be in line where it's supposed to be when it gets to the other end. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know, leave a comment down below. We'll talk to you soon. Donnie B, I am out.